Pastor Roy Gearhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. This week we got into Exodus 20, and this is where we find the delivery of the Ten Commandments for the first time to God's people. The Ten Commandments have stood as an inspiration for law and for thinking about law and justice for centuries gone by. They continue to have an influence in our whole way of life because we believe that law and order is, well, it's something that is good for everyone, that it preserves a justice. And justice we come to look at as not just something that is the prerogative of the powerful to determine or to declare what's just and what's fair, but it really embraces a concept of justice as something that is bigger than us, that is delivered to us by divine right, that God, in other words, gives us the law and provides to us justice and gives us a way to live. And so it's a really powerful and meaningful concept. But spiritually in our lives, the law represents to us God's love, His compassion, and His care for our lives. And in the Ten Commandments, we see two sets of commandments really composing an instruction package for life. Recently, someone reminded me of the acronym that is sometimes used for the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. And the law of God, encapsulated in the Ten Commandments, gives us those kind of basic instructions before leaving life. Comes in two groupings. The first grouping, the first four commandments, have to do with our relationship with God. And you could plant this like the vertical beam of the cross, that this is where the connection is made between us and God. Here's instructions about who to worship, how to keep your heart in order with God. And then on the horizontal beam of the cross, there are the remaining six commands that have to do with our relationship horizontally with one another. When you recognize that about the Ten Commandments, you suddenly realize really clearly why Jesus gave us the answer that He did when He was asked, "What's the greatest commandment?" And He had to say, there are two. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And He said the second commandment is like it, that you should love your neighbor as yourself. This is so valuable and so important because it captures what is already embedded in the Ten Commandments. And it gives us the why factor. This is the why of those first four commands about God. This is the why for those remaining commandments that have to do with our relationship with each other. It's to lead us to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. Now, that then tells us that those first commandments about God are not just ritual kinds of instructions. They're not religious rituals and rites. They're, in fact, words to us that point us directly to God. And that any other result in engaging the law is a misuse or misapplication of it, because the law is clearly aimed at directing us into a relationship with God where we would love God with our whole heart, soul, mind, and strength, and know in it His love for us. So the first two commandments are very straightforward. They say, have no other gods, period. Have no other gods before the Lord. And make no graven images, no, chiseled out images of wood, stone, or silly putty. Just don't make any images and bow down to that as if that's God. And so we're called into a focused life where God is first, where God is recognized as God, and where God is exclusively identified as God. And so that this is rooted then in truth for us. This is really what's essential about it. This not just an arbitrary opinion of saying, oh, I think that I believe in God or maybe gods. This is the mistake and the fallacy that so many make. But God declares to us the truth and just says, I'm it. I'm God. So worship me alone. Put me first as if there are no other gods. And don't make any silly images. Think about what we do when we create gods. We make big people, or we make other kinds of objects that we think look really cool and express something about ourselves as really cool. And God says, don't go that direction. Leave it where it's at, in the truth that I am God, and worship the Lord alone. That's where your life will get first and foremost on track. May God bless you today, and as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.